Okay, in this next tutorial, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the layout and styles that you can choose when you begin a document in Writer. Writer has a number of features, and to the novice user, some of these are a little bit hidden, I think, but just getting yourself comfortable with some of the buttons really helps. Using that document I pulled up in the first tutorial, if you take a look, there's not a lot to this. There's a number of columns and there's a lot of text, but I don't really know what all else is in here, particularly if it's a document someone has sent to me. One of the nice features up in the menu bar of Writer is something called the Navigator, and when you click on that, a box pops up that gives you all the components of a particular document. The headings, the tables, graphics, sections, and so forth. Again, this is a pretty simple document, so there's not a lot in here that are listed. If I were to click on any of these, like hyperlinks, there's nothing there. This is a lot like the inspector feature in iWorks in the Pages program. However, if I switch to another document that I have open, a little bit different. It has a little bit different text. If I use that same button, the Navigator button, let's see what I have listed. Okay, now it has found a number of hyperlinks, so it gives me an idea of what might be embedded in this document. So if it was something sent to me, or it was something that I had some difficulty formatting, I would know right away that there are 4 different hyperlinks embedded in this document. And if I were to scroll down inside here, I would be able to find out where those are without much of an issue. So how can I create some interesting layouts? Well, one of the most important buttons in OpenOffice is the Styles and Formatting button, which is found in the upper left-hand side of the menu bar. When you click on that inside of each document, what I'm going to do is switch back to this document and click on that. A Styles and Formatting dialog box opens up, and across the top you'll notice that there are a number of different sub-buttons up there, and by hovering over them you can see that they're paragraph styles, character styles, frame styles, page styles, and list styles. You also have a button to create new styles yourself. Again, the focus being on the fact that OpenOffice is an open source program. It's open to user interface and user submission of different functions, features, templates, anything that you develop, you can create and post and upload to the internet for the worldwide community to use. So probably the best way for me to start a new document, I'm just going to go to, instead of using the File New button, let's explore one of the other buttons, which is just above the Styles and Formatting. There's a New button, and I can create a new text document, and I can drop down here and click on that Styles and Formatting. If I click on the page styles, if you notice, there's a number of different things on here, but a lot of people have asked me, well, where do I find, or where can I create a brochure? Everybody likes to create an 8.5 by 11 text document or a letter, but what about a brochure? Well, what you need to do is use that New Styles button and just create a new style from selection. Okay, we're just going to call that brochure. Hit OK. And now this is one of the features of OpenOffice that is easy to forget but has so much functionality. So what you want to do is right-click on that new feature. Okay, when you do that, you get a new modify and delete pop-up menu. In fact, with each of these, whether it's the default, landscape, left page, right page, whichever of those styles, page styles you right-click on, you get the same features. Okay, so inside of that new brochure, I'm just going to say modify. And this is where you find all the things that are, I think, a little bit easier to find in Microsoft Office, and perhaps Pages as well. The page features in terms of the width and height, the orientation, borders, line width, columns, and so on. So let's pretend that we're creating this brochure. We're going to go back to page, the page tab. We're going to make it a landscape. And then we're going to go back to columns, and we're going to make that a traditional 3-column brochure. Okay, with a thin 1-point separator line. So when I hit OK, and now when I double click on my brochure, I now have a 3-column brochure that I can add my text, graphics, charts, anything I wish to it, hyperlinks, okay? And then I always like to go up and kind of take a look at File, Page Preview to see what that would look like if it was printed. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the formatting components inside of OpenOffice.